Hi everybody. I am going to do my best to talk. Unfortunately, I just had a tonsillectomy, so my voice is going to be a little bit weak here and there. So bear with me. I'll try and put on some measurements and stuff like that when I can't quite talk loud enough. I'm going to show you. I've been doing a lot of collaborating lately with a couple of my fellow Kiwi Lane instructors, and I will have all of my collaborators' information and everything else down below in the information section so that you can see all the wonderful and fun projects that we have going on. I've been a little bit out of the loop because, like I said, I've had surgery and so I've been a little sick and under the weather. But for the month of September, since October's coming up, and October happens to be one of my favorite of all seasons, Halloween and fall, I wanted to do something kind of preemptively for October. So I came up with another file folio book. This one actually uses a file folder template, and I'll show you how to do that. And what it does is if you know me and you know any of my videos, you know that I love mini albums and I love just coming up with different things and different looks to really have fun and to play with. And this I thought would be a very great way to really showcase a lot of pictures for Halloween and you know, play around with some kits that I had sitting around. This is actually a really old Doodlebug design kit called Booville. It was really pretty, really colorful. I wanted to play with it. So this is what I did, and this is what I came up with. So I hope you like it, and I hope you can go ahead and follow along. I will put a link to the instructions and the instruction sheet. As soon as I get that completed, I'll put that in there on the video, so you'll have that. So let's get started. Now, also keep in mind this is a mini album, so it's not a whole lot of Kiwi Lane usage, but I do show you how to throw in some of the smaller templates into here as well. So let's get started. Okay, the main thing is you're gonna start with a regular file folder. And normally I would use a darker color. I have my black ones, which I really, really love. You can get them on Amazon. Or you can use the regular craft ones. It's entirely up to you, and then you can ink the edges and everything. I found on Amazon you can go ahead and get these colored ones, which are really, really cool. So I've been using these lately. They are fabulous. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do with this one is you're going to score it. Now, normally when I tell people to do their scoreboards and to do their scoring, I'm really, really picky about getting them to butt their projects up this way and butt them up that way and do their score lines. In this situation, normally I would yell at people for turning their projects around and doing the other side like that rather than actually going by the measurements. But in this particular instance, you have to do that in order to keep the right sizes and everything else going on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this bottom left-hand piece, and from the outside of the tab, that's what you're going to go ahead and marry up and make sure your top line is married up. And then you're going to go over 5 inches and 3/4, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and score that. And then you're going to go 3/8, which is 1, 2, 3 ticks over. Okay, and then you're going to flip this whole thing around, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to butt this side up here, and you're going to go to 5 3/4. And then you're going to go 1, 2, 3/8. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to decide whether you want this piece at the bottom or if you want it at the top, whichever way you want to do it. I want mine at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be cutting down this edge. Okay? So what I want is, oops, excuse me, I'm going to actually, go from the bottom. I want to have 8.5 inches. So I'm going to go from my bottom edge of my project, 8.5 inches, and I'm going to score. And then this is where it kind of gets really a pain in the tuchus here. So you got to kind of slide it up and stay within that line. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be too perfect because you're actually going to cut this away. Oops, cheat sheet. Okay, so that's actually all the scoring you're gonna do. So again, from this to this line is 5 3/4 of an inch. Okay, to here and to here. This to this is 3/8 of an inch. This line to this line is 5 3/4. Okay, and what that's going to give you is it's roughly going to give you in the middle. If you go from one line to the other, this should be almost a 6-inch spot. It's going to be a little bit bigger or smaller, give or take the size of your file folder, which is fine. Okay, that's going to vary just a little bit. Okay, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your X-Acto knife and you're going to want to take this section out. You want to come to this inside line here. Okay, this inside line here. You don't have to be totally exact. It doesn't matter if you are. And then you want to cut off this whole side here. Oops, my cheat sheet keeps falling. Gotta have a cheat sheet, y'all. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter if you're totally exact. You don't have to be like spot on. Because you can always tidy it up later with a scoreboard. Okay, now on this one right here, what you want to do as well on your scoreboard, okay, once you have everything cut away, you can kind of get in here and you can see this line. Okay, you want to give yourself 2/8 of an inch, so 1/4 of an inch here. You want to create another little line just up like that. Okay, that way you have a little bit of a gusset there. So you're gonna fold, and then you're gonna fold that second one. So you got a little bit of that bend, see it? And then you're gonna do the same thing to these two. You're gonna fold the outside and the inside. Okay, so it'll be a little bit of a, you see that, see it? And do the same thing to this side. If you're an absolute perfectionist and you want to straighten up on your lines and everything else, you go right ahead and do that. It's all right. And then if you're like me and you want your corners rounded, because I like rounded corners, I'm going to go ahead and go in and get my corners rounded. These ones won't matter because I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to clean this up a little bit because I'm going to come in with a flap on this one. So I'm going to kind of carve out a little bit more of this at an angle so that when I do my flap, it doesn't interfere with this side. Okay. Okay, and believe it or not, that's it. Okay, this is all it is. It is just one side, two sides, and a flap. Okay, and then all I did on mine, okay, was I added a standard sheet of paper, okay, and you can tell this is on mine, oops, wrong side. Mine, the black folders are just a little bit wider than these other folders, so this was like 6 1/4 inches by 8 1/2. And I did the 8 1/2 measurement because I wanted to use my 8 1/2 inch paper pads. So that's what I've been kind of playing with. So, and then I just stuck it on there and then I covered it with 2 sheets of pattern paper. And you can see here's my little Kiwi Lane Ghost that I did. Added my die cuts, photo mats. And this is just a waterfall. And if you've ever done waterfalls before, they're really, really simple. This is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 photo. So I can put a 4 by 5 photo on here. And I gave myself an extra 1/2 inch to do all of my folds on each. And then I just glued it down. That's all I did. Covered all my file folder with paper, and that's it. That is all she wrote. It is a quick, simple, and easy project, and there's not a lot to it. When you're decorating your project, the only thing that I will go ahead and I'll show you real quick because it is kind of easy is, and this is a scratch sheet of paper, when you get your sheet of paper to cover this side, what you're going to do is you're going to place that sheet of paper to where it fits flush underneath like that, and then just trace this outer edge just like that. And then when you cut this outer edge, what you're going to get, I'm not going to be exact and precise, so I'm just kind of whizzing through this, but you'll get how it works. What you'll get when you trace that, once you put it underneath, then you bring it back forward to the top, and you'll get that tracing, okay? And then if you aren't exact, you can go in and you can kind of fix and play with it a little bit more. Until you get it looking exactly the way that you want it. Just like that. Okay? So, and then you would just cut a straight line on this side of the paper. That's as easy as this is. And then you just glue your pattern paper here, glue your pattern paper here, and so on and so forth. And this makes a cute little mini album. I went ahead, the reason why I added these gussets here is because I knew I was gonna make a waterfall here. So I wanted to have the bulk be able, so you can see that adds a lot of bulk in there. So I wanted you to be able to, when you put your photos and everything else, this will actually come in and it'll shut that waterfall, and then the whole album shuts up just like that. And you can also create like an elastic band or something like that to go around this, or a belly band would be really cute. I still have a little bit, probably some more decorating and things that I want to do with this, but you get the gist, and you understand with my projects how things really work. And it's so easy to embellish these. Once these are already done with your pattern papers and everything, then all you have to do is just put your photos on there. You could easily take one of the mini borders and put the mini borders here and do a Kiwi Lane style page. You can add any of the Kiwi Lane accessories, like here's the little ghost from the Halloween set and everything else. So I hope you like this project, and I hope you'll come up with one of your own and show us what you've done. And hope you visit all of my other friends that are in our Kiwi Lane collaboration of wonderful YouTubers. Thanks so much for watching.